Like I mentioned earlier, our people, we are forced to learn the language we do not have ancestrally. But the funny thing is that nature and our ancestors have a way of preserving things. Today, if you come to Anioma, my home place today, and Anioma, if you look into their words, you find out that every word we have, most of the words we have are still Benin words embedded in our own language. Not Igbo language, not Igbo words, but we are called Igbos. I'll give you an example. Benin, a female in Benin is called Oko. In Ancestry, a female is called Oko, a derivative of Oko. In Igbo land, a female is called Nwan. What is the relationship there? No. Are there Nwan and Oko or Oko? Is there any connection? No. Okay. As I was sitting there here, they talked about window and door. In Maulana, door is called Ako. Bini, Ako. Yes. Igbo, Uzo. Different. What's the relationship? No. In Maulana, male is called Ope. Bini, Opia. Igbo, Nwoke. Are we together?
Yes.
Okay. In Benin, old or aged man, somebody like is matured, married or not, is called Opioba. Olona, Okioba. Benin, Nnukwu Nwoke. Igbo. That's what Igbo I mean. Nwoke or Nnukwu Nwoke. Or Iche. What's the relationship? Now, and I keep on saying this, if I can go on and on and on and tell you all this. We retain our words in our language, even if our dialect has been Igbonized or Anglicized. Yet, somebody will call us Igbo Delta. Can we blame our cousins in the other side of the river for this? No. This was an intentional seed of discord sown by the colonial power to ensure that there is perpetual disunity and ensure that we do not live in peace with one another. Let's move forward, because if I continue on this, we can stay here and talk too much about it. We have ancestor. Benin will say Enika. Olona will say Enika. What's the difference?
No, similar.
Igbo, we say Molian. All right, let's go on. So I'm going to cut off a lot of things because of time. Let's focus on this Ihomioto name, because it's a very key discussion that is going on now in Nigeria and in Delta State. The place we call Anioma today, that name took on that name in 1951. I asked somebody, not quite long, with this argument you are making, what was the name of this land before it was called Anioma? Because the Iveri community did not start in 1951. Neither did it start in 1953. The person was looking at me. Okay, and I told him, well, in case you don't know, this very land has undergone name change 6 times. Who was looking at me? I said, fine. The first name given to this land was Ihomioto, and that name was given to it by Oba Urugwa. Because after the war, and when he ascended the throne, he mapped out the entire place where he and his younger brother fought war against the Eastern and the Igbos, and named it Ihomioto, then installed his younger brother as Oba Nisika. By the grace of God, I'm a descendant of that same man, Ube, who was the first Oba Nisika. Next, when the British arrived in the late 1800s, like I mentioned earlier, they couldn't pronounce the word Ihomioto. Instead, they called everybody in the western side of the river the West Bank of the Niger, or the people of the West Bank of the Niger. I suppose they were still looking for a better name. Fast forward, as they have now formed alliance with the Igbos, they sought a better name to give to it. The Igbos translated Ihomioto to their language and called it Onochiane, Onde Nochiane. Again, that was a difficult language for them. They can't pronounce it either. Then after this Ekumeku war has started, well, good enough, they found a word. Because we are now the warriors fighting against them based on Ekumeku and Njocham. So they started calling us Ekumeku people. The actual pronunciation word is Ekumeku, but they can't pronounce it well, it turns into Ekumeku. Then, after the amalgamation and the formation of Nigeria, they now changed the entire thing and found a new name, Western Igbos. Because now they have grouped us into the Igbo group. So the Eastern Igbo are the people on the eastern side of the river, while those in the western side of the river are now called Western Igbos. Fast forward to 1951, thereabouts, Denis Osalebe sought to regroup the people that they have now recognized, because by this time they have already split us, the entire kingdom, into 4. Anyocha, Ndokwa, Eka, and Oshimiri, local governments. So a way to bring us together, Denis Osalebe and his team moved to form a new name that will be suitable for the land. So they took the first letter of each of the 4 local governments and then added the movement association to it to form Anioma. So we now have A for Anyocha, N Ndokwa, I, Eka, O, Oshimiri. M for movement and A for association. That M and A also has its derivative from splitting Oshimiri into O and M, then putting A, the last A from Anyocha North. Now, with these whole changes that we have undergone, today some people claim that the land of Anioma is now an Igbo land without realizing that the original, and by the way, they are making this argument based on the new name, Anioma, forgetting that the original name of the land was a Benin name. It's Homyoto. Likewise, if you go to Edo, there's a place we call Akure today. The original name is Edo Nekwa. Or Edo Nekwe. Thank you. But again, because of these name changes, to adapt them to a particular ethnic group, we had it shut down again. It's now called Akure. The old Benin name to it is gone. And somebody can easily call them Yorubas, but they are Beninese. I need to move forward in this because, again, we can stay here and talk about this for many hours.